Hello and welcome to Frank's School. I hope you're enjoying Handel's Messiah. I'm taking it bit by bit and talking about it, discussing it. So tempting to just let it go and enjoy it. I'm continuing to discuss now. The one I'm watching as I'm teaching is the version uploaded on December 5th, 2014. I still do not know the name of the performers or the site. All right, we're going to go on to scene 3, what is sometimes called scene 3, the prophecy of the virgin birth. This would be numbers 8 through 12. Remind you that I've only recently realized that Messiah can be organized into scenes, but it really seems to work. 3, the number 3. I elsewhere in the course years ago, or several years ago, I think I discussed about the. Oh, I know. Maybe it was in box. Oh, Christmas music. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the glory. The 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 4, or 3 triple time as opposed to double time. I find at Christmas there is so much that's in triple time. I also feel that Bach especially, and maybe Handel too, Handel too, they like triple time. It's so danceable. And I was mistaking in my mind, 1 and the 1, 2, 3. This is in triple time, and the glory, 1 and the, yes. But I was getting it mixed up as I was teaching with the later course, glory to God. This is in double time, or 4, either 2 or 4. I was getting them mixed up in my mind as I discussed how he was conducting it. But anyway, glory is 3. I mean, it is so danceable. And interesting, as I've said earlier, in modern day music, for the last, I don't know, 50 years, the rock and roll is just never in 3. So you don't hear it that much now. The prophecy is still coming from Isaiah, the text. Isaiah. I'm not going to write down here. I'm not going to discuss everything that obviously can be found. If you want to know where do these words come from, well, just look. That's easy to find. But I will point out that it's coming from the Old Testament, Isaiah. The bass is beard and hair length. That has nothing to do with the music, you might say. But I'm still trying to figure out where is this and when is this. And the fact that the bass is shaven like he is, that pegs this as really within the last maybe 5 years. It wasn't necessarily uploaded the day after it was performed by any means. I mean, it could have been performed 5 years ago. But I rather think that idea of looking partially shaven has only been fashionable for men for about, I would say, maybe 5 years. It requires having an electric razor that's of partial length. Seems strange to somebody like me, but then that together with the hair length, that's one of the reasons I'm thinking this is Europe. Well, I'm almost certain it's Europe, because you don't see that much long hair in men here in the United States. You do see the ill-shaved or partially shaven look. Daylight is pouring in through the windows. As I said before, there's no stained glass. That's nice, that's in daylight, because Messiah would have been performed in the afternoon. It would not have been performed at night, not in Handel's day. They didn't have that kind of artificial light available. I mean, they may have, but it would have been done as an afternoon performance, all afternoon, really. As the bass sings his recitative, I think it's the recitative, it might be the aria, maybe it's the aria. Notice the doubling with octaves. The orchestra is moving right along, simply doubling what he is singing. It's not filled out with chords. Now the repetition of text, that's something that, I think this is an E, repetition, I'm not sure. That's something that takes some getting used to. If you've never heard Baroque music, and I can remember as a kid thinking, why do they keep saying the same words over and over and over? Well, that's just the way they did it. I mean, the text was there, and it was what they were using to make the music. And you know, that's basically everywhere in this. Now, when the choir comes into the second, they join the alto. O thou that tellest, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's in triple time. O thou that tellest good tidings to Zion. But then For unto us a child is born is in 4. And when they go into that, unto us, that's an issue for, at least I found, or for other choral directors as well. When they've got an amateur choir, unto us, they want to, the choir wants to sing it as an 8th note. A child is given. Well, given is an 8th note, but us is a quarter note. And I remember choir directors I've sung under saying, doing something, you got to say, whatever. Just to sing it what's written. It's a quarter note. It's not an 8th. But, I'm not sure why. It bugged me at the time because you just had to look at what you were singing. You were singing a quarter note. There's extensive parallel thirds. That's when you've got, you're skipping a note, a third. And parallel thirds on a piano is very hard to do. Your fingers just aren't meant for that. And that's why I say this is not really pianistic. The accompaniment is not really, this piece is not meant to be performed or done simply on a keyboard or simply on an organ. I mean, the organ would be there in the background, but that kind of stuff was done by violins or strings. So parallel thirds are pretty hard on a piano at that speed. It makes it delightful, though, to hear the two parts, say the soprano and the alto, for example, going along in parallel thirds. Syncopation, that's, well, I'm not going to teach a whole music course, but it's when you don't strike the downbeat. Counselor, wonderful Counselor, one the mighty God, one the mighty God. That's syncopation. It was used other places as well. It's fun. You get a kind of a boost out of syncopation. This is in this is in 4/10. All right. Finally, Counselor. When I've conducted, I've usually asked my choirs to push the vowels to what's written. So there's an O there, Counselor. But they don't. They sing Counselor as if it were an E, which I find interesting. I mean, they're so good. They're going to sing what they're told. Interesting decision. I once asked the choral director I was singing under, what about that? When we come to that, which way should we say that? And he thought about it, and he said, well, that's subtle. And I thought, well, I don't know if it's subtle. I mean, you want the choir to all say the same vowel. And he said, we'll sing it as So a little hard for me, so we did it. Government. Now the N, government. It's so much easier to just say government without that N. But, but the precision of Baroque music really requires that it would be there. And then finally, I'll ask you to listen. Does the whole choir trill on the word Prince? I think they do. Sometimes when the orchestra trills, it covers it up a little bit. Now that's going the Prince of Peace. When they finally sing the Prince of Peace, I think the choir trills there. Oh well, I sure hope you're enjoying this. As I said before, I am. We'll see you next time.